Was there anybody that we had on the show that walked into the house and you're like, holy shit, I'm nervous?
Scooter for sure. Not, and I had like met Scooter before, but like I think it was just like it was a big moment, probably for the podcast and just someone like well before 100 Thieves I've known about, looked up to, admired, and frankly just like I really wanted that episode to be great. I really wanted him to be like happy with how it went. That was one. I think Mark Merrill too.
Yeah.
Just because like a similar situation, like someone I'm just like, this person is unbelievable and has built something really, really great, and they're spending their time with us. I mean, so many of our guests, Daryl Moore, like Hector, like it goes on.
It's funny. I didn't get nervous for Mark Merrill. I was really excited just to shoot the shit with him. Hector told me a funny story, which is what prompted my question. Was he went to an event and it just so happened that he ended up in the same room as Jay-Z, and he didn't know Jay-Z was going to be there. So he walks into the room and he looks to his right and he's waiting for his friend to come up and get him. Some exclusive private event. Obviously, if Jay-Z is there, it was something important. I forget what he told me. He looks to his right. He says, "Oh, that's Beyonce." And then as he keeps panning through the room, he locks eyes with Jay-Z. And he said when he made eye contact with Jay-Z, it was the first time in his life where he truly felt somebody's power in the room. Just the air felt different as soon as he saw him.
Yep.
Like it was a little heavier.
Yep. And
it was the first time where he thought to himself, holy shit. And I feel like I've only had that happen to me a couple times. It was when I met Drake, when Jeffrey Katzenberg came into our living room at the Rockmore Team House.
At the Team House. That was crazy. There was like 6 of us in the room. That was crazy.
And can you explain everyone who Jeffrey Katzenberg is?
Jeffrey Katzenberg. So real quick, you have like a little hair right here.
I got a little hair?
Yeah.
Ooh. Can you get it off?
You got it.
Oh, it's Haley's hair.
There you go.
Look at her.
Back to Jeffrey Katzenberg.
I'm going to keep this for later. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine if I just ate it.
Jeffrey Katzenberg, I actually don't know what he did before it, but he founded DreamWorks. First and foremost.
It makes all those animated
basically
movies,
probably
right?
one of the 5, 10, 20 most important people in all of entertainment in the world. And most recently started a company called Wonder Co., which is this big investment company.
Is he a billionaire?
I believe so. Yeah, I think he has to be. He sold DreamWorks. I think he's a multi-billionaire. But he recently raised like $1 billion for Wonder Co., which is this new media investment firm that is also launching a big new product called Quibi next year, which is like a Netflix for your phone. And anyway, we met with him. It was actually one of our first investment meetings, early days of 100 Thieves with him and his team.
Yeah. So obviously, there's so many people that you and John know in this business world that
To be clear, I don't know Jeffrey Katzenberg.
No, I know, but
you
know of him. Yep. And I didn't even know the name. Like when I didn't know who Jeffrey Katzenberg was, John was laughing. Holy shit, man. You really do live under a rock.
But I think he's definitely someone who isn't really in the spotlight. So I imagine most of our audience doesn't know who he is either.
Jeffrey Katzenberg came into the Rock and Mortgage Team House. We pitched him on 100 Thieves. He was elated. He loved it. And then he even sent us an email the next week saying, I'm so excited to potentially work with you guys. I think you're onto something really cool.
That was crazy.
That was a great moment. And then met Kanye. That's when I was a little, holy shit.
You haven't mentioned that, I don't think, publicly.
Yeah, I met Kanye West and walked around our new facility with him. Really interesting guy. But
to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into it because Kanye West's friend is one of our investors who's a really cool guy. And Kanye, when you meet someone who's really larger than life like that, I didn't know how I was going to react. Oddly enough, I wasn't that nervous just because I felt the most nervous I ever would have been was meeting Drake.
Yeah.
And I was nervous, and it felt like it happened in a blink of an eye, the conversation that we had.
Yep.
And then I had some interactions with him after that, wasn't as nervous. But it's funny, I just can't imagine as a 16-year-old thinking to myself, that's what my life, where it would have taken me.
Crazy.
And so it's just really cool to meet so many different people in so many different walks of life, so many different levels of success, and just have a conversation with them. This podcast has been really cool.
Yeah, I think it's also indicative. maybe at a larger level is like what's happened with gaming in the last 10 years, really, and really the arc of your career is the fact that all of those people that you mentioned and so many more, like, I think we're doing some cool stuff. I think like you've had an amazing career. You're really impressive. All that aside, like what's happened in gaming to the point where all those people want to pay attention to it, and we've been able to benefit from that in some ways, I think says a lot. And frankly, I think we're still just getting started, which is an exciting thing, and probably an exciting thing for lots of people out there who are thinking about possibly working in this industry. And I think there's just going to be so much more. And I'm excited for more than anything, more people in mainstream popular culture to come in and validate or be excited about the stuff that we're doing, the stuff that so many other teams and developers and leagues are doing. And I think that to me is going to be a huge part of us going from where we are now to kind of this even bigger future.